Do not buy these homes in Foley, Alabama. If you're considering a home in Foley, Daphne, or anywhere else in Baldwin County right now, this is going to be an important video to watch. Now, before you click away, I am not here to scare you today. I absolutely love this area, and I have helped dozens of families move here from all across the country. We are helping people from Illinois, Indiana, Arkansas, Colorado, California, Pennsylvania. We are just seeing people that are discovering our little old Baldwin County, Alabama from all over the place right now, and with very good reasons. So there's not a lot of bad things to say, but there's always something. And today I'm going to help you uncover the 5 biggest mistakes I have seen my clients make. And one of them was a mistake that I made myself, and it's still costing me money every single year. Hey, I'm Amanda Eckert. Welcome to Living in Gulf Shores. I'm so happy to have you back today. And if it's your first time, thanks for finding us. We are so excited to share with you all the great things about Baldwin County, Alabama. But today, all of the things that you definitely need to know if you're considering buying a house here, and the 5 houses you should absolutely not buy. We're going to talk about new construction that isn't ready yet, old plumbing that could destroy your budget, HOAs that looked great until they weren't, drainage disasters hiding in plain sight, and a roofing mistake that is costing me money every single year. So stick with me, and by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what to look for and what to turn away from if you're house hunting here in Foley or the areas around us. So let's get into it. Story number 1, and this one starts with 2 years of waiting. My clients had their eye on this particular neighborhood from a specific builder with all the finishes that they wanted for more than 2 years. They knew the plan, they knew the finishes, they knew the modifications that they wanted to make, and they had it all mapped out in their heads. Then, when the builder announced a brand new neighborhood right here in Foley, they were thrilled about it. And they called immediately, and we set up a schedule to go and take a look. We went through the entire process, had everything picked out, and negotiated what was going to be, I think, the most amazing price Foley was going to see this year. But that was not enough. When they started asking themselves the very hard questions and push came to shove, they realized that this was not actually what they wanted, and they walked away. Once that initial excitement wore off, the answers that they were finding out to those hard questions started making them nervous. First, there were 0 homes actually completed yet. They were going to be one of the very first people to move into the neighborhood. So they had no way of knowing what that neighborhood vibe was actually going to be like. Who were their neighbors going to be? What would the street feel like on a Saturday morning, or pulling into the neighborhood on your way home every evening? And nobody can tell you that. Also, there was going to be years of construction, traffic, dust, dirt, noise, banging starting at 7 a.m. while they were trying to enjoy their brandly new constructed screened-in back porch. It wasn't exactly the peaceful retirement that they had in mind. And then the common areas. Well, they looked beautiful now, but who was going to maintain them? How is that going to be paid for? Over time, what was that going to look like? And would that area end up encroaching on their low-maintenance lot that they looked forward to giving up all of that landscaping that they were leaving behind from their northern home, coming down here to a more simple life? They didn't want to be blowing leaves all the time or cutting back trees, and no one could really assure them what that was going to look like. So here's what I tell buyers that are considering a new construction subdivision. You're not just buying a house, you're buying a vision, and the vision doesn't always match reality. Now, does this mean you should never buy a new construction? Absolutely not. There are so many great reasons to buy new construction if you have your eyes wide open. Some of them are absolutely amazing. And maybe this one was going to be too, but it just wasn't there yet. So ask the builder, how many homes have already sold? How many phases are there going to be? Maybe you think that this neighborhood's almost done, but they're only finishing up the first, second, third phase, and they have 13 more plans. So what's that timeline look like for completion? What does the access look like for future phases? is? And who's managing the HOA before, during, and after the construction? Can you see an actual plan of what that's going to look like? My clients had those questions and the answers just weren't quite good enough for them right now. So what did my clients do instead? Well, they bought in a completely different neighborhood from a completely different builder that had not even been on their list. However, they bought a community that felt alive to them. When they walked down the sidewalk already completed, they waved to their neighbors. They knew exactly what the streets were going to look like. They had a community center that they could envision their grandkids coming to visit them at from the first day that they moved in, and they didn't feel like they were leaving so much behind. Instead, they had a draw for people to come and see them. The house itself, well, it still had the gold fortification. It was still very low maintenance and passed a great inspection, and it had all the things already done that they were planning to do. It had a generator installed, a PVC fence, and even the extra concrete pad for their grill that they planned to install outside of the screened-in porch. Check, 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 and check, and the feeling just felt right for them. So sometimes the home that you think that you want isn't the one that you actually need. And sometimes walking away from that dream is actually the smartest thing that you can do.
This next one still hurts a little. A pretty house with painful plumbing. My clients fell in love with a beautiful older house in Foley with mature trees and neighbors walking down the street that said hello. They really loved the decor in the house and it fit their lifestyle very nicely. But I said, before we get too attached, let's ask the right questions. It's important to know that Alabama is a buyer beware state, so you're not absolutely required to give a seller's property disclosure. Now, there are a few things that you should know about that. Even though the seller does not always have to give a seller's property disclosure, they do have to answer questions when asked directly. And in this case, it was questions about the plumbing. Based on the year that the house was built, I knew that there could potentially be pipes that are prone to lawsuits and leaking. And in this case, that house was in fact built with those pipes. Around here in Baldwin County, we do find homes that are built with polybutylene pipes as well as some PEX pipes. And of course, we have copper pipes. There's no perfect house, there's no perfect construction, but knowing again what you're buying can make all the difference. In this case, those pipes actually had been prone to leaking in the past, and they were going to require replacement in the future, most likely. So they weighed all their options. We got estimates. They were going to have to cut a lot of holes and do a lot of drywall repairs, and ultimately that wasn't what they had envisioned. So we walked away and we found a different house with different pipes that they could move in, enjoy, get insurance on, and not have any problems. Let me just give you a little backstory. Polybutylene pipes were used for about 20 years all over the country. At one time, builders thought that they were the pipe of the future. They were cheap, they were easy to install, and they were used a lot. However, of course, not everything is as perfect as it always seems, and in this case, it wasn't. They are no longer used. PVC pipes are now preferred in a lot of cases, although we do see a new type of PEX pipe used, which is thought as generally fine to have around here. But a home inspector will definitely check all the pipes in the house and let you know if the type of pipe that you are looking at is one that is prone to having issues or not, and then you can make the right informed decision for yourself. So just go in with eyes wide open and know whether the wrong type of plumbing might turn your great deal into a financial disaster. And if you're looking at a house and you're curious, generally speaking, the best place that you can look at the type of pipes that were used is by the hot water heater, under sinks, and a little bit trickier in the attic or crawl spaces, which is why we always recommend hiring a home inspection. Don't skip that inspection because saving a few $100s might end up costing you a few thousands.
And I'm not saying that you can never buy an older home or a home that has this type of pipes. I'm just saying if you know what you're looking at sooner rather than later, we can negotiate credits and make sure that you understand what the full scope of work is going to be and that fits in with what your plan is for your move. Or sometimes we can negotiate a lower price, one that really makes sense for you, and you could end up getting a great deal on a house if you're willing to take on the risk and rewards that come with that. Story number 3 is about the HOA community that looked harmless until it wasn't. Now, these clients came to me already owning this home in Foley, which they had purchased because it was low maintenance, they loved their neighbors, they were attached properties that required a little bit less upkeep, the utilities were low, and the layout was great for them. The location was super. However, after they bought into this community, the HOA dues went up drastically. They started building a whole new phase, and the HOA assessed them for insurance on the property because, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, insurance right now is a huge hot button. And that particular year, it was a very difficult year for a lot of homeowners associations. Their HOA dues practically doubled, and that was not in their budget at all. They decided that they wanted to sell and move into a community which did still have an HOA. However, the HOA was not responsible for nearly as much in terms of the upkeep of the home. So the dues were very, very low and really not expected to go up because all they maintain is the common areas and it has nothing to do with each individual property. So I have a lot of people contacting me with concerns about HOAs, and the truth is not all HOAs are created equal. We have a wide variety of non-HOA homes and HOA homes. Sometimes dues in HOAs can be $100 or $200 for the entire year, and sometimes they can be $400 or $500 a month. In this case, they were $400 or $500 a month, and that property became very difficult for them to sell because no one else wanted to pay those dues either. So they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Eventually, we were able to sell that property for them, but they had to take less money for it than they thought because there just were not that many buyers that were willing to pay those high dues. So know what you're getting for your monthly expenses. Make sure that that's a good value that you feel comfortable with. Check the financial reserves and all the rules and regulations in the association that you are looking to purchase in. My 4th story is about the drainage disaster waiting to happen. This next one is something that out-of-state buyers sometimes miss and locals know all too well. Baldwin County gets some serious rain. As a matter of fact, we have some of the highest rainfall amounts in the entire country, but we also have beautiful sunny days like today. So that means that that rain comes in large amounts in a short period of time. And we're not just talking hurricanes, but when you hear about those flash flood warnings, a lot of those happen down here in lower Alabama. Heavy summer storms that can dump 3 or 4 inches in an hour sometimes. And the cities are definitely aware of it and are working on the problems with better infrastructure all the time. But a lot of these new construction neighborhoods, you have to look out for what the drainage patterns are going to be and be aware of how they might impact your home and your lot. If you can visit during a storm, great. Or a little bit after, fantastic. Where's the water building up? Where does it seem to slope down? Where are the drainage ditches located, and where are they planning to carry all the water away from the homes? How is it graded, and are they paying attention to that? When the drainage isn't right, you can get pools of water in your yard or worse up against your foundation, and sometimes worse yet in areas that could puddle and eventually end up inside your home. You definitely don't want structural issues or mold down the road. And even a swampy yard sometimes isn't the most fun place to have. So here's my simple advice if you're looking at homes in Foley or anywhere in Baldwin County. Check the flood maps, know if you're in a flood zone, but even if you're not, pay attention to the drainage in the subdivision around the house. And if you have the opportunity to ask neighbors what any past drainage issues have occurred might be, then definitely ask that question. And ask the homeowner too. As we talked about those sellers' property disclosures, has there ever been a flood? They have to tell you the answer. But in the most part, look at your property compared to the neighbors. Is it higher or is it lower? Are you going to get the water puddling from your next door neighbors, or is your water going to be going someplace else? Foley requires new homes to be built in floodplains to be at least 2 feet above base flood elevation, and that's pretty true in all the towns here in Baldwin County. That's actually stricter than FEMA's minimum. So we do actually pretty well around here when it comes to flooding compared to other places, but that does not mean that every lot is equal, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay attention. So if you don't want to be wearing rain boots in your backyard, know where the water's going to flow. This last one is a personal story about the new roof that costs me money every single year. This one was my mistake. I moved here from the Northeast, and after many years of being in real estate, of course asked how old the roof was, and it was only a couple years old. Great, right? But what I didn't know about buying a house in Baldwin County, Alabama, was that it has to be a fortified roof to save you money on your insurance every year. So my brand new roof actually costs me money every single year when my insurance renews because I do not have a fortification certificate. Do I love my house? Yes, but if I had known this one thing, I might have acted a little bit differently when making my offer. I have a good roof, and that is one less thing to worry about, but ooh, does it irk me every time I have to pay my homeowner's insurance that this owner that I bought my house from did not just spring the few extra $100 to get the roof fortified. Now, if you fall in love with a home that is not gold fortified, it's not the end of the world. There are programs out there called Strengthen Homes Alabama that exist that offer $10,000 roof grants every single quarter to homeowners that live in the property to get their roof upgraded to fortified standards. However, if that is not on the list of things that you want to do or are willing to do, then it's something to be aware of, and you might want to limit yourself just to homes that have the fortification. Now, I say gold fortification, and that was not exactly right. The only gold fortified homes are new construction. A fortified roof will still save you. I hear quotes about 30% on your homeowner's insurance, whereas an entire gold fortified home can save you up to 50% on your homeowner's insurance. So I'm seeing new home insurance quotes come in right now anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000 a year, whereas an older unfortified home, about the same square footage in the same approximate location, could be $2,400 to $5,000 a year, depending on the age of the plumbing, pipes, roof, hot water heater, and other things. So it's definitely something that can make a big difference on your budget. So the thing is, there is a happy ending to each one of these stories, but not always the exact home that they thought that they started looking for. The clients who walked away from the new subdivision are very happy in their new established community with active clubhouse, pool, and friendly neighbors. The clients who discovered the poly pipes found a beautiful home with modern plumbing and no renovation surprises. The client who got burned by the HOA moved into the older community where they have very low dues and a property that they do maintain themselves, but no one gets to tell them how much they have to spend doing it. It's more predictable for them and ultimately does have some lower costs for them. And me, well, I learned an expensive lesson about roofing, and I am glad that I get to share my experience with you so that you don't make the same mistake that I did. There is definitely a lot of good reason why people are moving here every single day, and I absolutely love getting the phone calls from Illinois, Indiana, Arkansas, Louisiana. I mean, they're coming in from all over the place because this is a special place, and it's going to remain that way for many years to come. You will find the right home. And my job is to help you find it and to help you avoid the ones that aren't right, so that you can move in, settle in, and actually enjoy your life here in Baldwin County. The slower pace, the beautiful weather, the beaches, the parks, and everything that makes life here so wonderful. So if you are thinking about making a move, it's never too early to reach out to me. I absolutely love it. I'm Amanda Eckert. Thanks for watching this episode of Living in Gulf Shores, and I'll see you next time.